All right, guys, let's try to get this in before the end of the night. Proverbs chapter 7. Um, this chapter has been a beacon of hope and discipline and correction for me for a lot of my walk with God. One of my pastors told me all the time, he said, dude, listen, we got to have boundaries. We got to have disciplines because greater than you and me have fallen. And he said this to me all the time. Great, dude, he said, Nick, remember, greater than you and me have fallen. And it's insane because since he started teaching me that in my young 20s, I've seen so many heroes in my life, in the faith, in the world, people I could look up to fall. And this chapter speaks a lot, but first two, first of all, says, keep my commands and you will live. So this is Solomon. He's talking from a father's heart to a son. And he gets to verse 7, man. Verse 7, verse 8. This has helped me. I've taught this to youth and college agers, people that have asked for any type of care, and not just because I read it, but because I lived it. I was the foolish young man, immature, and young and immature doesn't mean age. It means mindset. I was immature and I was simple. So here's what verse 6, 7, where is it? Verse 6 on. It says, at the window of my house, I looked out through the lattice. So Solomon is in his home. He's telling us of a story that he saw, something that he experienced, but he's in his house where he should be, behind his window, safe from what's going on out there. He said, I saw among the simple. You don't want to be simple. I saw among the young men or the immature. You don't want to be immature. He said, I saw among the youth who lacked judgment. I don't want it for you to lack judgment. So it said, at dusk, it's twilight, the light was fading, dusk had set in, the night was coming, and then came out a woman to meet him. She was dressed like a prostitute with crafty intentions. Her feet never stay home. She's always out in the street, always out in the square. And I try to constantly teach this to anybody who has asked for any type of mentorship, correction, pastoring, love, whatever, where I'm like, dude, you are a busybody. If I can't stay home. I don't want to be home. What is wrong with you? You need to discipline yourself to stay home, to slow down, because crafty intent, when you get too busy with too many things, you become crafty in your intentions. This woman said, hey, look at me, dude. I'm out. My husband is gone. I've got my house decorated. I've got my nice perfume on. That's what it says. She said, let's go home. Let's make love. Let's have our fill of love. And it said, with persuasive words, she led him astray. Ladies, this is not a blast on you, because men, you can be the seductress. You can be the deceiver. You can be the manipulator. You could be the pervert, the bait. But it said, with persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. And all at once, he followed her like an ox going to a slaughter, like an arrow piercing a deer's heart or liver after it had already been trapped, like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing that it would cost him his life. Now, my son, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart stray to her paths. I hope that you will consider, am I always out busy? I'm telling you, my greatest failures, all the way up from serving Jesus. I grew up 3 dads, crazy home. I was exposed to sex and sexuality at a very young age. And this is a part of my testimony. It almost ruined my life. It almost ruined my ministry. It could have ruined my marriage. These things that trickled in all the way from a young age. I had no boundaries. Grew up with sex and pornography by the time I was 6 years old, and was exposed to so much perversion that no matter how great I was ever doing it, always came back to hit me, trickling all the way even into my marriage, where my wife became such a part of helping me find freedom from so many of the things that had been constantly revisiting my life. I was the simple man. I was the young man, the immature one, not lacking judgment, out in places I shouldn't have been, with people I shouldn't have been with. At times, I should have been home. I'm telling you, my greatest failures, almost destroying anything and everything I ever loved, was because I was with the wrong people at the wrong times. I should have 100% been about different things. And so, this chapter, my pastor told me, greater than you and me have fallen. This is the fallen, and my pastor taught me we have to build boundaries and protect ourselves, our home, our values, our children, our spouses. Everything that God values, we should value, protect, and care for. So that's Proverbs chapter 7. I hope you guys are blessed by it. I hope you're encouraged by it. And make sure you like and subscribe. I'll keep popping these out for I'm not sure, the unforeseeable future.